at the Drawn to Comics edition of Phoenix Tonight.
Who's our first guest, Russ?
I'm glad you asked, Ken, because the first guest is a regular writer for the Phoenix New Times. He produces shows at a downtown theater called Space 55, where we have this show every month. It's Ashley Naftule, everybody. Who's your biggest fan? Ashley, thanks for coming.
Thank you, Ashley.
Oh, this is a tight. Oh, this is tight. Okay. That's good, though. This is good. Isn't that nice? Ashley, thanks for coming on the show, man. You're a comic book fan.
Oh, absolutely.
You enjoy comics. Who are some of your favorite characters?
I'm actually a big Doom Patrol guy.
Doom Patrol?
Yeah, Grant Morrison's Doom Patrol run is like, it's not just my favorite comic book, it's almost my favorite book ever. Period.
Wow, you classify it right up there with like The Great Gatsby, perhaps, or Old Man in the Sea, maybe.
Dude, it's 1,000 times better than Old Man. Alright, it's got transvestite magicians.
Okay.
It's got living cubist figures that steal the city of Paris.
Sure.
Old Man in the Sea's got a Marlin. I mean, there's no contest.
It's got a man in a boat. That's
exactly.
Right. Wow. Okay. Well, that's Doom Patrol. I didn't expect you to say that. But of course, you're such an eclectic guy. I know you from your poetry work. You're a comedian. You're an actor. You're a writer. You're a jack of all trades around downtown Phoenix.
Thanks.
How do you find time to do all this stuff? Give me a quick TED talk on time management, if you don't mind. No pressure.
Here, take notes.
Not having, being single, not having kids opens a lot of free time.
Okay.
Also, I'm bipolar, and for me, part of why I stay so busy, it's a way for me to kind of fight depression.
Oh, okay.
Because if I'm occupied with different projects and different obligations, if I don't have time to sit at home and feel sorry for myself.
Sure.
That's kind of why I'm perpetually doing stuff, because it kind of keeps me on my toes.
I've noticed you have a lot of characters that you portray on variety shows and stuff. You've done a couple characters here on Phoenix Tonight. Where are these kooky characters? You have a guy that does movie reviews. You have an arm wrestling champion. I hope I'm not breaking the fourth wall here, but I'm a fan of these characters.
Actually, speaking of comic books, one of my favorite memories as a performer is a couple years ago, I got asked to do Phoenix Comic Con. And I had this character who's called Thunderbolt Tsunami. And the gag of the character is that he's a professional arm wrestler who's really bad at arm wrestling. He always loses, but he never admits defeat, ever. So I ended up, they had me do that bit outside in Phoenix Comic Con. So we're on the street on Monroe, and there's like tons of people walking by. And everything's shouting at random strangers like, "Fight me! Somebody arm wrestle me!" No adults would do it, but kids, tons of kids want to arm wrestle me.
Sure.
And what was great is I beat all of them, and I shit-talked them mercilessly. And their parents in the back were like, "What are you doing?" The kids loved it, though.
Destroying their self-esteem. But the kids are tougher than we give them credit for. They took it.
I heal. That's the whole point. I have to be a jerk. I can't be nice to them. They're kids.
You gotta train them for the real world, am I right?
Exactly. You're gonna lose all the time, child. Get used to it.
So when you were where did you grow up in Phoenix or?
Lifer, yeah.
You're a native of Phoenix.
Mm-hmm.
Holy cow!
34 years and a life sentence.
Wow, I heard a smattering of applause back there. I don't know if that's related to your, if that was just somebody's heart palpitating. But so how have you seen the valley change and grow over these last 34 years? It has to be pretty impressive.
It's pretty dramatic. My family, I grew up on 74th Street and Scottsdale Road.
Oh, nice.
And that area is like
the ghetto.
Did you go to Coronado?
That's the ghetto.
What?
Did you go to Coronado?
A Horizon.
Okay.
So it was kind of like a nice.
You native, Ken?
Yes, I'm a native too.
Oh my gosh.
Whoa,
Yeah,
nice.
yeah, second generation.
What are the odds of this happening? Two natives on the couch at the same time.
The only
That's
two
awesome.
natives in a 50-mile radius.
Holy cow. Hold
like
on, let
that.
me build a pipeline right between you. No, okay, not that kind of name.
Yeah, the we were here before the 202.
That's right.
Before the 202.
Yes.
Before
Loop
Arrowhead
202?
Mall, when Metro Center was worth shopping at.
Pretty much. You remember when Christown was Christown, and then
Yeah.
it became Spectrum Mall. Now it's back to being Christown again.
Oh, and it's really just Walmart.
Yeah, that's just Walmart. Exactly.
So what was it like growing up on 70th Street and Scottsdale Road?
It's like we're on the cusp of the desert, so you still have this huge desert sprawl. And by the time I was 18, you could see it was almost like the urban landscape was like a carpet they were rolling out.
Sure.
You just see this desert has vanished and condos pop up overnight. And
wow.
You had a ton of coyotes where I lived, and then one day they just vanished.
Wow, because of the footprint of man.
Yeah. Although the area I live now, I still live in the Scottsdale area. There's actually still javelinas. They
Really?
actually live in the drain systems. So they'll come out, entire families come in the middle of the night and just eat trash.
Wow, that's
People
great.
driving, and 10 of them will just kind of run across the street.
That's hilarious. That's amazing. Wow. Sometimes you see that too if you're in Old Town Scottsdale. Just a couple of pigs walk across on the street. But that's a different story entirely.
Gotta go around low hanging fruit.
Yes, I do. So you stayed in Arizona your whole life? You never sojourned out for education, or?
I mean, I traveled. Like my family's from France, so I used to go. We used to go back. I mean, my teens used to go once a year to visit our relatives.
Oh, okay, to France.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
So that was quite an education.
Cool. And so you would bring a bit of that international knowledge back to your experiences here. And when did you burst onto the art scene, or have you always kind of?
No. Not until like I was like 28.
28.
I used to be definitely. Let's put it this way: in high school, my senior year of high school, I almost got expelled because I missed like 20 classes.
Okay.
Wow.
And the reason for it is that every time I had a class where I had to do a public presentation, I would ditch.
I don't believe that. Knowing you like I do, I just don't believe that.
Dude, it's true. Like
Unbelievable.
I had like paralyzed, like that. The idea of public speaking, like 10 years ago, if you told me I'd be doing this right now, like I would have been like a Wile E. Coyote like silhouette in the wall, punching through it. There's like no way I would do it.
Wow, really?
Yeah.
Now, what was the turning point then? Is there a dramatic origin story here?
Preface: there's kids here. Kids, drugs are bad. It was drugs.
Oh, okay, drugs, sure.
Yes. I took mushrooms, and long story, the Cliff Note version of it is I took mushrooms, I was around 27, and then I realized one day I was going to die and probably not exist anymore. And I had done nothing with my life up until that point.
Okay.
So that kind of spooked me. I remember just thinking, like, I need to do something for myself.
Bucket list time.
Exactly,
Yeah.
it was bucket list time. And I just started kind of just throwing myself in the writing. And performing is kind of a lark. Like, I was kind of like more of a challenge. Could I do this and not dissolve into like a puddle of nerves?
Sure, sure. So now that you're sharing that lesson, kids, you could skip the drugs part and just skip to this part, right? That's basically...
Right.
Okay. So what was your first performance? Do you even remember?
Oh yeah, actually I do. I did some like open mics, but there's a show that I produced on Space 55 called 7 Minutes in Heaven, and it's a variety show where the idea is that we give anybody, literally anybody, even like all you folks if you wanted to, we give anybody who wants 7 minutes on stage to do whatever they want.
Nice.
And we mean whatever. It could be music, poetry. We used to have a guy who did naked stage magic.
Sure.
Like he would come on, he was like an older gentleman, stripped completely nude, and then he would hide an egg on his body.
He would hide an egg on his body.
Yep.
This is what I get for promising a family-friendly show.
Was it a family show?
I just kind of thought
too
I'd
late.
try a little something
Sorry.
different in the first 10 minutes. We're talking about drugs and...
Johnny
hiding
Comics
an
does
egg on
not
your body.
support the habits of eggs on your body and drugs in your system.
I don't know though. We're talking about mushrooms and eggs. Sounds like a great omelet. Like,
Yes, exactly.
Well, I'll give you a spoiler. He used to hide it. Like he actually would show the trick every time that he would do like his patter, and then he'd hide the egg. At the end, he'd just be like, he'd reveal those.
Oh,
That's
okay.
awesome.
Yeah. So
But the first performance I ever did was actually at a 7 Minute show. It was my friend Kevin Flanagan, and we came up with this bit, Panache and Gusteau. And the idea is that we were doing like a cable access show about like wine connoisseurs. And I was like panache, I had this slick back hair, and I was like this very fancy gentleman. And he was Gusteau, was like a bum that came off the street. Like the gag was like, I'd be like, yes, this is beautiful, this is so much flavor, and he'd be like, this is good. Like we used to have a spit bucket, and so halfway through, like he would guzzle the spit bucket.
Oh my gosh.
Nice.
And actually, it went the whole bit went really
Wow.
well. Like,
Sure.
The worst part about it is I used pomade in my hair, and the lights disintegrated it. So by the end of the bit, like my eyes were like swollen like that big. So it was awkward, but like it was a good bit, and it worked, and like got laughs, and
That's awesome.
neither of us like forgot what we were doing, and
Yeah.
kind of set things off,
And you got the bug, the performance bug.
Yeah.
You've been doing it ever since.
more or less.
Wow, amazing. And to the point where, my ride's here, by the way, if you guys can hear that. But to the point where you produce that very same show and others at Space 55.
Yeah.
Cool.
basically.
Now let's talk about Space 55 a little bit, because I want to give a little plug to that place that's been hosting this show for over a year now. What's the origin? Oh, thanks. Yes, for Space 55. Like a lot of theaters, it's essentially a non-profit. It's run by passionate people. You're not walking away wealthy from the
Not even remotely.
because we brought the couch over and there was no change. So I know that you guys are probably scouring the cushions after every
Dude,
show
every week.
for tips. But what's the origin of Space 55? It's in a little, kind of a strip mall building downtown, and it's a room not much bigger than this, really. And
Basically, yeah.
Yeah.
I wasn't there for the original, like the founding.
Sure.
But it was Shauna Franks, who was this actress from Chicago. She moved to Phoenix, and basically she didn't really know anybody. So she used to invite actors to come to her house for dinner, and they kind of started like hanging out and like reading scripts. And kind of the theater started that way.
sure.
So we got this spot on 7th Street and Pierce that used to be a bail bonds office.
How ironic.
Isn't that what you said that spot
Yes.
used to be down there too?
Yeah, the comic
Wow.
shop, first comic shop was the bail bonds place
No kidding.
before it became a comic shop.
Well, it's nice to know that Phoenix has that many less felons. You know what I mean? The bail bonds shops are closing. That means we're doing well. So,
That's awesome.
and then they took over that space. It's a theater.
Basically, for the last 10 years, like we started, they started just doing like plays at first, and then we expanded doing like variety shows and late night comedy, stand up, and that sort of thing.
Sure, more avant-garde stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I used to be just a guy like volunteered there sometimes until one summer, 55 submitted a play to a New York Fringe Festival, and I got accepted. And they said, "Hey, do you want to come along and like be our flyer guy?"
Oh, nice.
And it was great because I got to spend like a week in like New York, just basically going to museums and just handing out flyers. And
Nice.
I didn't do anything, whereas everybody else was doing a show. And long story short, two of the people in the cast were married and they're having like they're in the middle of like a divorce, basically.
Oh,
so there's
delightful.
all this drama, and I'd be like, "Later, everybody! I'm gonna go see that museum. See you in 8 hours."
I'm out of flyers. I'm gonna go look at the lions from Ghostbusters. See ya! And then you go over to the library.
Basically,
Nice.
it was great. Like after I came back, like I kind of became part of the family, basically.
Cool. Part of the broken family, because you said they got
But it's Phoenix. The Phoenix art scene is constant drama.
Constant drama.
Constant drama.
Let's get juicy. Constant drama. What's that? I don't know.
It's not.
Well, that's part of the reason why we're doing this show here is to highlight a bit of the positive stuff that's happening downtown, whether
Yeah.
it's a guy like you that's kind of got his fingers in a lot of pies, or a show like this, the comedy, the music. So, yeah, this is a bit of an evangelical piece. And you write, too. You write for the Phoenix New
Yeah,
Times.
it's going really well.
And what's the other? Phoenix Sucks?
Phoenix sucks.
But that's PHX.
SUX.
SUX.com. How'd you get into the big writing gig? Because I know that's relatively new, too, isn't it? Or
Yeah, I mean, actually, I used to write for New Times like years ago as a part of their art blogs. I used to do like a lot. I used to like review like burlesque shows and variety shows, and then I kind of got in my first relationship. I got really distracted from work, so
Sure.
I kind of missed deadlines. I kind of fell out with it.
Mhm.
And then years later, like I started working for Phoenix Sucks because I know a guy Troy who runs that site, and I started working a new job. I work as a copywriter for a flash drive company, which is the most boring job you could possibly imagine. So like my brain is so starved for stimulation. I'm like, I will write anything that's not about flash drives. Just not go crazy. So I started like just covering shows. Phoenix Sucks, and then one day Troy's like, I have to go review Death Grips, which is this band, and I can't go. Can you do it for me?
Sure.
And I did it, and that's how I kind of got into the New Times. 'Cause
Oh,
I
okay.
review so much.
Oh, that's awesome. So, what do you have on the horizon? What are some of your next projects besides the writing for the New Times and Phoenix Sucks? And what's going on at Space 55 after Virginia Woolf? Do you know?
Well, we're opening a series of short plays next week. That's going to be running until the first weekend of April.
Okay.
So, yeah, and then after that, we have a 7-minute show coming up, also in April as well. 7 minutes down the rabbit hole.
Oh,
So
okay.
they're
Just in time for
themed.
Easter.
Yeah.
Yeah. And people can find information for that stuff at space55.org.
Yes.
Is that right? Cool. Well, Ash, thanks for coming out to Glendale, man. I really appreciate
Well,
it.
it was a pleasure. Thank you for having me.
That's it.
Ashley
Thank you.
Naftule, everybody.
Sure.
Thank you, my friend. I appreciate it.